Hey, sixth graders. Okay, so today we're doing order of operation, and some of y'all already know how that works. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses are first. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. We've done this. Your P is your parentheses. Your E is your exponents. M is multiplication. D is your division. A is your adding, and then it's your subtraction. So if you need to, you can write that down so you know. P, parentheses, E, exponents, just as x to the second power. M, multiplication. D is for division. A for addition. S for subtraction. Okay? All right. So, they give you examples using your formulas. So, when you're finding the area of a circle, A equals pi times r squared. You're going to do r squared first because that's your exponent. So, you would do that before you would multiply, because your E comes before your M, and please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay? So, they show you another one where it has 5 times 2/3 squared. This right here, your 2/3 square, is what you're going to do first. It's your exponent, okay? That means you're going to come over here and you're going to go 2/3 times 2/3. Well, 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times 3 is 9. So you get 4/9. Then you would multiply 5 times your 4/9. Put your 5 over 1. And so you would get 20 over 9, which equals 2 2/9. Okay? Okay? Then they show you another one where it's 7 plus 3 times 6. Okay, you are going to have to do, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, what comes first? Addition or multiplication? Multiplication. You have to do that first, and I'll show you why. So what is 3 times 6 is 18, plus your 7. That is 25. Now, if you would have done 7 plus 3, that's 10. 10 times 6 is going to give you 60. That's not the answer. You have to go in order of operation to get the right answer. Okay? Then they show you 7 times parentheses 5 plus 4 parentheses. Even though that's a plus inside those parentheses, you do that first, because what comes first? Parentheses. Then you multiply. So 5 plus 4 gives you your 9 times your 7, which gives you 63. Okay? You have to go in order or you are going to get the problem wrong. Okay? You're going to get it wrong. So on A, under number 1, 5 times parentheses 7 plus 2, close the parentheses. You're going to do first what's inside those parentheses, 7 plus 2. Then you're going to multiply it by 5. The same with B. You're going to do what's inside those parentheses first before you divide. C, 16 divided by 2 squared. Do the exponent first. 2 squared is 2 times 2, which is 4. Now, 16 divided by 4 is 4. Okay? You have 3 times 2 plus 6 times 4. Well, multiplication comes first. 3 times 2 is 6, and 6 times 4 is 24. Now, 6 plus 24. Okay? That's how you do that. Square. They want you to do square each fraction by multiplying it by itself. That means you are doing 2/3 square, 2/3 times 2/3, 1/2 times 1/2, 3/4 times 3/4, 5/7 times 5/7, and 1/4 times 1/4. That's what that means. Okay, we are still having trouble for some reason doing the radius, circumference, and the area of a circle. Okay, listen. Here's a circle. Your radius is 7 inches. If your radius is 7 inches, that means your diameter is going to be 14 because the other side is 7 inches. So the diameter equals 14, radius equals 7. Okay? Now, to find the circumference, you have C equals pi times, you can do times D, but you can also do C equals 2 times pi times R. I say that because on number 4, they're not giving you the diameter. So you could use that other formula. But if you know how to find the diameter, do it by the diameter. Either way, you get the same answer. So if I was to do 3.14 times 14, that would be 16, 5, 12, 0, 4, 1, 3, 6, 9, 3, 4, 2 numbers behind the decimal. I get 43.96. Now let's see if I do it the other way. 2 times 3.14 times 7. Well, 7 times 2 is 14. So I'm doing that again. 3.14 times 14. I just did that. Okay? Now, look at your area. A equals pi times R squared. Now that's going to be different because now you're squaring the radius. Okay? That means 3.14 times 7 times 7, which is 49. 7 times 7 is 49. So 3.14 times 49. You have 36, 12, 28, 0, 16, 5, and 12. 6, 8, I can't even think right now. 13, 5, and 1. Two numbers. And that's square. Remember, when you're finding the area, it's square. So 153 and 86 square inches. I just did that first one with you. So you do the next one. Okay, so then you're multiplying, subtracting, dividing. Look at C on division. You're dividing 11,808 by 3.6. Okay? You have to move that decimal over in the divisor to make it 36. Since you moved it over one time behind the 6, you have to go inside and you're going to have to add a 0 at the end with the decimal. Okay? The story problem, you are having to find the percentage. Okay? How much money did he allow for each item in his budget? 10% for the church, 30% for the clothes. All right? On your measures on number 7, you're having to just do your 1, 2, 3. You could do it that way. Okay? 1/4 of a year equals how many months? Well, how many months do you have? 12 months. Well, are you going year to month? Small to large or large to small? You're going large to small. So what are you going to do? You're going to multiply. You're multiplying 12 times 1/4. And when you do that, you get 12 over 4, which equals 3. Okay? That's all you do. All right. The rest, I think you can do. It is pretty much a review. And that's what we're going to start doing eventually, is just doing a review over the whole year. You have a quiz tomorrow, and then we're learning algebraic multiplication. Not tomorrow, but on Wednesday. So tomorrow you're just doing your quiz, and then Wednesday you will do the worksheet for that quiz that you usually do. I'm not making you do the worksheet the same day. Let's look what's on your quiz. So, you're going to have your protractor because you are going to have to measure the angles. Okay, you're telling me the degrees of the angles. Then you have to identify them as in acute, a right, or obtuse. Remember, the right angle is when it has a 90-degree angle. It shows it by a box. Then you have acute. Acute's when it's less than 90 degrees. Obtuse is going to be when it's more than 90 but less than 180. Then you're having to find the area of a circle, the perimeter of a square. Perimeter of the square, what are you going to do? That's going to be 4 times S. Or you can just say S plus S plus S plus S. Area of a triangle. Guys, area of a triangle. A equals 1/2 base times height. So you're taking half of the base, or you can multiply the base and the height together and take half of that. Okay? Triangle, you take half. Circumference of a circle, then you're adding. Don't forget to line up that decimal. Then you're multiplying with decimals. You don't have to line them up, but when you're done and you have your product, you have to make sure how many numbers were behind the decimal altogether. And that's how many times you move to the left. Then you're multiplying fractions. Do not multiply mixed numbers. You change them to improper. And dividing fractions. Change it to mixed number into improper. Change the sign to multiplication sign. And you do the invert of the divisor, the second fraction. So that means you're reversing it. Your numerator becomes your denominator, and your denominator becomes your numerator. Okay? Y'all should know these. Y'all should know this. All right. And this week is going to be a little, I have two things I wanted to do with you before we started reviewing, and that was your algebraic multiplication, and that's your solving equations. Okay, I wanted to go over that before we go on to 7th grade, because it's very important, because we'll be, well, Bob, I can't talk. We'll be doing pre-algebra next year, guys, pre-algebra. 6th graders are going to 7th grade. It's pre-algebra, okay? So I wanted to get those done before we started to review, all right? All righty, guys, y'all are doing a great job. Keep it up and do good on your quiz. Take your time. You don't have another worksheet, so there's no hurry, okay? Take your time. Wednesday, I'll come back on and we'll talk about the new lesson, okay? And then I'll come back on Thursday with the new lesson, okay? All righty. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good day.